The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey, welcome to our live Convertri demo. It's Tom Murray from Wishloop here. So before we get started, let's do a really quick sound check. So can everyone just put one in the chat box if you can hear me? Great. Getting plenty of ones coming through. Excellent. Hi, Ron, Frank, Lawrence, Dan. Awesome. Nice to see you. And can you just put a yes in the box if you can see John's screen? You should be able to see the Convertri logo. Can you see the Convertri logo? Yeah. Excellent. Awesome, let's get going. So now I'm really happy to be joined today by John Botel, and I believe we also have the genius himself behind Convertri, Andy Fletcher, on the call too. Hi guys.
Hey Tom, thanks very much for having us here today.
No problem,
It's
thanks for
great.
coming on. So as you know, everyone, the Wishloop apps use this free-form drag and drop technology, which means you don't have any predefined rows and columns restricting your movement. So you basically have total design freedom. So we were really excited to see Convertri when it launched, because this is the first full funnel builder that uses this full drag and drop technology. So my only concern was that this total design freedom could slow down the design process. But since you've been playing around with it a bit more, you can actually see you can easily group elements together and move them together. So it's actually a really fluid design process. So to demo how quickly you can create a funnel, John and Andy have kindly agreed to come on board today. So before I hand you over to John, just remember to check your email from us today, because we've actually added a bonus for Convertri, and it's a really cool bonus. It's in 4 parts, and we're going to give you done for you funnels so you can hit the ground running once you pick up Convertri. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to John. So John, how are you doing?
I'm not so bad, Tom. Thank you very much. My voice is just about lasting out. Hopefully, it's gonna last to the end of the week. If I start breaking up or I have to just stop for a minute, it's just because I'm either drinking tea and honey or taking a slug of water just to try to get through. But that's not any of your concern. That's all down to me. So we will get through it, and we'll get all the questions answered by Andy at the end. And hopefully, I'm going to be able to show you just how quick this thing actually is, because I've been very fortunate. I feel very fortunate, at least, to be kind of selected as one of the beta testers of Convertri, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to use it for about the last couple of months, and really quite astonished me with the speed and the versatility of the program. But let me just quickly run through the presentation here, because I think we all understand exactly how important funnels are to our business. You know, I've been online, selling products online since 2001, and absolutely when I started building funnels rather than just standalone single sales pages, it changed my business immeasurably. And this is an example of one of my e-com funnels that we've sold tens of millions of dollars with. But what I found is when I first started putting the funnels together, I was actually paying developers to do them on a bespoke basis. And that actually used to cost me, for every funnel I built, around about $20,000. And we did have very involved funnels, and we were doing mobile separate as well. So that's where the cost came in. So it was expensive. Of course, you could do them yourself with the various different platforms that were available. And I've tried a lot of them. I've certainly tried WordPress. I've done lead pages. When I actually started getting into the IM niche, and started building my business on that side, I noticed that there were so many people that were using a service called ClickFunnels, which kind of bridged the gap for me. It allowed me to be able to build my own funnels, so I could just save that 20 grand, which was hugely important to me. But there was an issue with it. Number one, it was like $97 a month. But, you know, considering I've been paying 20 grand a funnel, that wasn't too much of an issue for me. But still, you know, $97 a month, it adds up. But I bit the bullet, and I paid for that. But the main problem for me, it came down to twofold. And this is an example of one of my old e-com funnels that I designed in ClickFunnels. The first thing was I could never get exactly what I wanted. Because it's a block-based builder, rather than the freeform like you have yourself and Convertri is, you're always making compromises for the not having to pay for a bespoke build. For example, in this page, if ideally I would have liked the pen to be almost simulating writing in this box and hanging off the edge, and then I would have had a group shot over to the left-hand side, and then probably a big overlapping arrow pointing towards this sign-up box. But I had to compromise that because with ClickFunnels, because of the block-based builder, you just can't kind of get that exactly what you want feel. Or you have to pay a coder to come in and kind of recode the ClickFunnels part of it, which kind of defeats the object. You're back to bespoke sites again. But the other problem on top of that is I found that when people were actually using and visiting the site, and I was testing this out myself, the page load time was incredibly slow, particularly on mobile. Now, I don't know what niches everybody who's on the call is in, but for myself, and certainly the niches that I'm in my e-commerce side of my business, 80% of my traffic comes through mobile. So having a slow mobile load time is absolutely a killer to my offers. And so I did notice the difference between the two, between my bespoke sites and when I moved to ClickFunnels. The conversions dropped significantly. I was very fortunate, I feel, to be at the marketing summit in Dublin recently that Convertri actually sponsored. And obviously I met up with Andy there. And this isn't Andy, by the way. This is Kevin who was speaking, but you can see that Convertri is sponsoring it there in the background. But we got chatting, and I was talking about ClickFunnels and this issue, and he was telling me about Convertri and how I could get this kind of free-form editor. I can if I can imagine it in my head, I can build it in Convertri. But more importantly, he was telling me about the speed and how fast it was. So, in typical fashion, I took Andy to the bar and started plying him with drink and throwing Jägermeister down him, and eventually taught myself onto the beta trial. And it took me, literally when I got back from Dublin, I think 3 days of playing around with Convertri to make the decision that I would no longer build a new site with ClickFunnels. I'm in the process of kind of transferring all my funnels from ClickFunnels across to Convertri, but at this stage I'm not building any new sites with ClickFunnels. They're all built with Convertri. And that was just after a couple of days. Even in the beta trials, I did this. So obviously, anybody who's been involved in software understands that in beta trials, there's always little bugs that come up that they're working out. And even with those, I could see just how massively more important for my business that this was going to be. And it wasn't just the flexibility, it wasn't just the ease of use. Convertri did perform better. And this is an example of a page that I built with Convertri. It's one of the first affiliate offers I ran in my IM business. It's for a product called Bay Profits Academy. Now, I can't say for sure that it was all 100% to do with Convertri. It could have just been a perfect offer for my list. But, I topped the leaderboard for this particular offer. And I've topped leaderboards before, and I've hit leaderboards before and got prize money and all that good stuff that everybody wants. What was different about this campaign is that I actually had problems with my mail for like 1.5 days. I didn't get any mail out. So I came from way in the back, and for the first 2 days I wasn't even on the leaderboard. And it was a 5-day launch, and by day 5 I topped it, and topped it by a significant margin. And that was the first time running the affiliate offer through Convertri. Now, we can't say for sure that was the reason, but it certainly gives me massive amount of confidence to move forward with Convertri and everything that I'm doing. So what's the secret? What's under the hood of this, this amazing machine? Well, they came up with the snappy acronym of APT, which actually stands for Accelerated Page Technology. Now we have here, I might ask for some help from you guys, Tom and Andy, on this one, because for some reason, let me just check my, for some reason, GoToWebinar isn't allowing me to open the questions box. I have no idea why. Okay. But it won't allow me to open it, so I can't actually see any replies from anybody. So perhaps you can help fill me in with this if you guys can see it. What we've got here is 2 versions of the same page. We've got version 1 and version 2. I'm not going to tell you which is which right now. I want you guys to give me some feedback and let me know what you think. Both of them are high definition images. Okay, they're directly downloaded from a stock photo site. High definition images. You can tell that by the quality and the vibrance of the image and the depth of field. No distortion, no pixelation. They're really, really nice images. Okay, one of them has been run through Convertri's accelerated page technology. The other one hasn't. Just give me some feedback, and guys, if you can help me out with the answers here, give me some feedback. Let me know which one you think is the one that hasn't run through accelerated page technology. Which one do you think is the true HD and hasn't been compressed in any way? Version 1 or version 2? Let me know in the chat box, guys. And Tom and Andy, if you can help me out with the answers, because I can't see them.
Vote for number 1. Couple for number 1.
Yeah.
Couple for number 2. One person saying they can't tell the difference.
Yep. Honestly, we've run this webinar, I think, 3 or 4 times now, and pretty much the consensus is the same. Nobody knows. They literally can't tell the difference. I come from a design background years and years ago, and I'm looking at them, and with my design background, honestly, I can't really tell the difference between either one. Now, the truth of the matter is that it was actually version 2 was run through compression. It's run through this accelerated page technology that Convertri does all automatically, by the way. You don't have to do anything. You can literally take high-def videos, high-definition images, pull them into Convertri, and it automatically does all this optimization for you. And this is how it gets this speed, like this warp speed kind of a page load time. And you can see here that the size of version 1 was actually 2.8 megabytes. And after going through the Convertri compression, this accelerated page technology, it came back to 207 kilobytes. And in terms of page speed time, version 1 was 1.2 seconds, which, to be fair, is still pretty good and acceptable. But just look at the Convertri figures. 0.4 of a second. Now, I don't know about anybody else on the webinar today, but my reactions aren't quick enough to get my finger off the mouse in 0.4 of a second. That's how quick that page is loading. High definition quality images loading in 0.4 of a second. It really is quite incredible. So that's what it's about, guys. That's what got me so excited about it, and that's why I'm using Convertri now for every funnel I build. Because quite simply, if your page takes too long to load, we both know what is going to happen. People's attention spans in today's market are just non-existent. If it takes longer than 3 seconds, you've lost them. So having page load time that is as quick as Convertri gives it to you means that you're just getting more eyeballs on your website and more eyeballs on your offer, which pretty much just means that you're going to convert higher, which at the end of the day, let's bring it down to brass tacks, means it's going to put more money in your pocket. You get more eyeballs seeing your offer. Even if your conversion rate stayed the same, you're getting more money in your pocket. And that's why I'm moving everything over to Convertri and why I'll never build another new funnel in ClickFunnels. And what's even better about Convertri for the next couple of days is that during this launch week period, you have the ability to get in at the charter rate price, which is just a one-time price. There's never going to be a monthly fee going forward. It's just a one-time price. But let's have a look actually inside Convertri now. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build a funnel from scratch so you can see how quick this whole thing is. And we'll race through it. It'll take us about maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes to do a whole funnel. And that's with me talking as well. I could probably do it quicker if I wasn't kind of trying to demo it at the same time. So let me just change my screen. And if you guys... Okay, that's worrying. Let me just figure out what's going on with GoToWebinar here. Okay, guys, just give me a second. Okay, hang on one second.
You've probably got dialogue box. John, I think you've probably got a dialogue box you need to close. It's hidden somewhere.
I think I've got it.
John, are you still there? I think we've lost you.
The wonders of modern technology. We'll give him just a couple of minutes to come. Are you there, John?
I just got thrown out.
Yeah.
It's probably for the best. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Am I still presenter? Or yeah, it looks like I am. So let me just. There we go. Perfect. Let me just check, guys. Can everybody on the webinar still hear me? Just give me a one. I can actually now see your questions. So whatever was going on before is cleared out now. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Okay. Right. Let me see if I can now just share the right screen. Okay. Let me just. Get onto here. Okay, it's not letting me share screen right now, so I think I just need to.
John, shall I try? I'll try just changing.
If you could try to make me.
It looks like you're on here twice or something. I'll just.
I know it's weird, isn't it?
Let me just try making the other one of you a presenter.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it looks like that's it now. Hang on.
Have a go now.
Let me just try this.
There you go. I can see you now.
Okay, and I'm going to share. Okay, guys, if you can let me know now if you can see the Convertri screen, that would be great, and then I can get into this and actually go. So just a one in the box if you can see the Convertri screen. Awesome, thank you, guys. Thank you for giving me the feedback there. It's really appreciated. Okay, so when you actually log into Convertri for the first time, you'll see a screen that's very similar to this. It won't have this square box in it, as this is a test domain that I've set up for this demonstration. But all that would happen is you would hit this big blue button here, and let's say we're doing something like a test tomweb.convertri.com. Okay, and that's how you would actually set up a subdomain in Convertri. Obviously, if you have your own domain and your own custom domain, you can point that to any of the funnels inside Convertri, no problem at all. But you can get any subdomains that you want of Convertri. So that's one I just created there, just to show you how that happens. I'm going to actually just archive that one because we don't need that. And we're going to use this test one I sent earlier. So I'm just going to log in. I'm just going to hit the big square there, the card there, to get in here. And then it says click the plus button to create our first funnel. So we're going to just hit the plus button and name our funnel camping. If I could type it down, camping funnel. Hit enter, and then it gives us the option to create our first page in that funnel. So we just hit new page, and that leads you then to the templates. And probably for a lot of you, the templates are what you're going to use, because it's going to be the fastest way to start building funnels. And these are absolutely beautiful templates. So we're talking professionally designed, high quality, high definition templates, you know, made by people who know exactly what they're doing in terms of design. What we're going to do now, though, is I'm going to show you building from scratch because it allows me to show off all of the features of Convertri to the absolute maximum. So all I do for blank is just hit the blank card there and give it a name. So I'm going to call this one opt-in. So what I'm going to build here is a very simple funnel. I'm going to have an opt-in page, I'm going to have a thank you upsell page, and then I'm going to have a second upsell page, and then a real thank you page. Okay, so those are the pages I'm going to create. So you can see right now it's giving me this first page here, this opt-in page. To add an extra page to the funnel, all I have to do is hit the blue button. We'll go blank again, and I'm going to call this, let's call it O201. And that gives us the O201 page. I'm going to do this for all the pages in the funnel. I'm going to do O202. And then I'm going to do the true thank you page. And there's the thank you page. And what's really great about, and I absolutely love that Andy built this into the system, because often when you've got a lot of pages, particularly if you have downsells or multiple downsells, it's often really difficult in a lot of other page builders, because they're not designed really for funnels, to kind of visualize and figure out how one thing leads to another. You don't have that problem with Convertri because Andy is a genius and actually just built this clever system into it. So just watch this as I link these together, and you'll be able to see what I mean. So here's our opt-in, 0201, 0202, and the thank you page. If we want to create our funnel, all we do is this. Link to this, link to this, link to this. How easy is that? It's pretty incredible, the system that Andy built in there to help you to kind of mentally visualize how everything runs within your funnel and make sure that things are running exactly as you want them to, which is important. I can't tell you the number of funnels I've designed myself that you know, things don't quite work the way you expect them to when you actually go through to test them. So, for example, if I wanted to add a downsell to this for any reason, I could just go in and I could put a downsell page in. And let me just drop that here. And so I could have a downsell of 0201 just by dropping this arrow in here. I could then have that downsell go to 0202. Or alternatively, I could get rid of that. I could have the 0202 also go to that downsell and then have the downsell go to the thank you. Multiple options. And if I wanted, I could have another downsell off the downsell, which is something I used to do all the time in my e-com business, have a double trick downsell. You know, help capture tons of different opt-ins and leads. A very, very successful technique. Let me just get rid of that page because I don't need it for this build, but I did want to demonstrate this awesome feature. So just delete that. And we'll leave these pages just as this now. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete a couple more because I'm going to show you some other features after this. So let me just delete these pages. Really, really simple to get rid of pages, by the way. As you can just see, you just go into the three-dotted menu, just hit delete, confirm, and they're gone. The other things you can do from this menu with the three dots there is you can do split tests, which I'll demonstrate later. You can export the actual page, and you can do that in the JSON feature, which it will actually allow you to then bring it into other parts of your funnel. Or you can do it as HTML to host it elsewhere. But we're not going to do that right now. What else? Oh, the other thing is this share feature, which I will actually demonstrate later on. But just know that you can actually use this share feature to actually either share the page to duplicate it within your funnel, or you can actually share it with other people so that they can use it within their funnels. So it gives you a really great opportunity for selling funnels, selling designs, and monetizing Convertri that way. Okay, but let's get into actually the meat and potatoes of how this thing designs and how fast it is. So if I go to the opt-in page, we're going to build a really, really nice opt-in page in the campaign niche. Okay, now let me show you this first of all. I'm not actually going to use this, but I know a lot of guys like to use this feature and have a big background image for the whole page. I'm not going to use it for this particular opt-in page, but in order to do that, I want to show off this feature. So what we do is go to page properties, go to the background image, and that opens up our image library. Now what I did is I actually went to Big Stock earlier and actually just downloaded a really high definition image of a camping scene. I think it's about 6 meg. And all I did is I dragged that into this panel here, this white panel, and it automatically uploads. Obviously, you can just hit Add New Images, and that will open up if I do it, you can actually see it. Just doing it now. My machine's running a little slow today. And that will open up the box where you can actually import the images, but you can just drag them into this area as well. So what I did is I just dragged it in, and it's sitting there now. So if I choose that, that creates the full background image, and it's still going to load super fast, even though it was dragged in at like 6 megabyte size. Okay, I don't actually need that for this demonstration, but I wanted to show you guys, if you wanted to have a whole website with one big background image, that's how you would do it. So let me just take that out, and the way I'm actually going to do this today, let me just move this question screen a little bit over here. There we go, perfect. We have our menu bar on the right-hand side here. And if I want to add a sectioned image, in other words, it's not full background image, but it just takes up a defined amount of space that I choose, I can just go across here, grab this image, and drag it in. Okay, that opens again the image library, and I just click it, and it's going to drag in that high-definition image. Now, clearly, that's not the right size for what we need. Convertri provides you with these little guide bars here that shows you, I know that's an average screen width. So that's not going to cut the mustard for us, so to speak. So what we want to do here And Convertri is so clever with this, it's great. This is the thing that really speeds things up. All we have to do is select our image and hit this little icon over here that says full width. That gives us a full width image that we can just slide up screen, pull down to get to the size we want, and then we can end up with something that looks very much like that. High def, really rich, really vibrant image. Okay, so that's now in almost like a panel area. But what I want to do is I want to create an area at the bottom of that where if I was doing this properly, let me just delete that, just got ahead of myself. If I was doing this properly for a real site, I'd want to put my terms and conditions, my privacy policy, all that good stuff at the bottom here. All we do is we grab this icon here, which is a panel icon, we drag that in, and it creates this little square. Again, hit the full width, just move that up so it takes out the white space, make it a little smaller. And now what I do is I go across to my little three-dot menu, and I'm just going to change the background color to like a charcoal gray. And select, and then we're good. Okay, so what we have now is we have this lovely background image with, let's move that up a touch, like that. We have this lovely background image with a grey area at the bottom in which we could put our terms and conditions and such. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag in another panel, just like this, and again go into my three-dot menu. I'm going to make that one black, but with this one I'm going to slide the opacity down to create one of these really cool looking semi-translucent boxes. And because I have real problems with corners, all my corners have to be rounded, so it's a little bit of OCD with me. I'm going to make these corners rounded just by doing that. And what's great with Convertri is it gives you the options to be able to have just the tops, just the bottoms, lefts, rights. You have total flexibility on how you make those corners look. Now I'm just going to stretch the box a little bigger. I'm just going to amend that. Oops, that's the wrong one. I'm just going to amend that opacity slightly, make it a little bit more opaque. Perfect. So we're looking at something that looks a lot more like that. Now we're beginning to see very much more like a traditional opt-in squeeze page, but you know, quite cool looking and done very, very quickly. But clearly we need some copy. So for the copy, what we do is we grab our little text icon, drag it in. And forgive me if my copy is not very good here. I am literally just doing this on the fly, so I'm gonna. It might not be the greatest. So let's just go with free report reveals the top 50 secret camping locations you never knew existed. Actually, that's pretty good. Anybody in the camping niche, feel free to just steal this stuff. Okay. So all I do is I highlight that, and then obviously we have our text editor, and it's a text editor like you would expect anything else to be, with a few additional features that maybe you wouldn't expect. But I can do, first of all, let me tell you about the Google fonts, because you can import as many Google fonts as you want. You just go across to the right-hand side here and manage the import fonts. Just give it a second to pull in, and then you can import Google fonts as many as you want, and you all know that there are thousands of Google fonts. So you can just import those, and then they end up in your font library. But I don't need to import any. I've got what I need in there. So I just highlight the text, and I'm going to go across and I'm going to make this one cabin. I'm going to make the font color white. I'm going to change the size to maybe 36, something like that, and I'm going to center it. Now, obviously, as I said, it's a standard, well, probably not, Andy will kill me for calling it standard, he probably works hours and hours on this, but it's what you would expect of a text editor. You can do bold, you can do indent, you can do underline, all of that good stuff. I don't need that for any of this headline, but you can do it. One thing which I was actually really pleased to see Andy include, which you don't get in all text editors, is the strike-through. You know how in IM we all love to do our strike-throughs through prices, to emphasize it, you know, there's a new better price included in the text editor. Really useful stuff. Okay, so we've got our little text there. We're just going to move that around. I'm going to stretch it out. See if we can fit it all on 3 lines. There we can. Perfect. So now we have our headline. Okay, let's say we want a video. We're going to make this a video squeeze page. So we're going to include a little video in this box. Couldn't be easier with Convertri. You just grab your little YouTube element here, drag it in, size it as you want it to, call it something like that. Okay, now let me just go in and grab a YouTube video to actually throw in here. So I'm just going to head across to YouTube now. Give me a second. Oops, that's not how you spell it. I was never accused of being the greatest typer in the world. I'll show you that. Okay, I'm just going to, let's do for something in camping, make it at least look right. Okay, I'm going to choose this one. This is one I've grabbed before. Let me just copy that link.
A lot of boys at home.
I can shut that down. So what you do is you grab the link out of YouTube, and all you do is you, quite simply, you just paste it up here. And there it goes. It automatically populates in, and we can resize that to get rid of the black bars. And we can choose to autoplay it as well. So I'm just going to save the work I've done so far. Okay, what else do we need in here? Let me show you another cool feature of Convertri, because one of the really nice things, and I call it like intelligent technology, because what happened is we put, first of all, this background layer in, this opaque background layer, and then we added things on top of it, which is a cool feature of Convertri. We can layer things, so that if I wanted to, I could drag another image in. Let me just show you this, actually. If I really wanted to, I could drag an image in. Yeah, let me do this. Let me drag an image in. And let me actually upload a new image and do this. I don't have it in now. Let me grab something out of my downloads here. Let me just do a quick search for this. See if we can find it. Just checking my system. There it is. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So now that's uploaded into my library. Obviously, a horrible picture of somebody very ugly. Looks like a bulldog chewing a wasp. That's me. All we do is we can resize that. But just look, really cool elements. We can actually have videos playing with stuff overhanging them, and the video will play in the background with an image almost like hanging over the top. So you could have some really, really cool effects built up by this layering effect that Convertri can allow you to do. And if I just actually save and publish that, you'll see exactly what I mean. Hang on a second. I'm going to save it, I'm going to publish it, and I'm going to call it opt-in. Okay, now it's published, it's live. And if I just hit the little publish icon, we can see it.
What's
you can see what I mean. We can actually have things hanging over. Let me just shut him up. We can actually have images overhanging videos, which is supremely cool. Supremely cool. You could even come up with like a fancy border for your video, overlay it. You know, like I can think of like a picture frame. You can download picture frames with no centers in. You could overlay that, have the transparent center, and the video would play through the picture frame, which would look cool. But that's just one of the little features that I absolutely love. And one of the reasons why I say if I can dream it, if I can see it in my mind, I can build it in Convertri because of this layering effect. I said to people on the webinar just yesterday that for me, Convertri is almost like a blend between like the best page creator you've ever had and like almost like Photoshop, because you can kind of do those effects that you can do on Photoshop with layering and bringing things forward and back in the layers. For example, if I wanted to actually bring this video forward, I can actually go into the menu here and just ask it to bring it forward, and now it's hiding that image. Conversely, if I want to bring the image forward, I can just choose to bring that to front, and then that comes to the front. So you can build up textures and depth in your website by this layering feature. Very, very much like you would do in Photoshop when you were doing your custom design site. It is incredible. It really, really is. I can't say enough good things about Convertri. And I'll tell you that I'm not being paid to do this at all. I volunteer to come on to do these webinars because I am so enthusiastic about Convertri and what it can do for my business and for your businesses. So let me get rid of that ugly bugger there. Just delete him. And let's leave this right here. So I was saying before about this intelligent technology inside Convertri. We built in this opaque layer, and then we added the video on top of it, and then we added the text on top of it. But Convertri is so smart and so intelligently designed that it understands that if something's contained within a layer, like within, I call them layers, they're actually called panels, but if something's contained within this panel, then it should move with it. So if I want to move this, everything will move together. This means that actually building your sites takes a fraction of the time because you don't have to move elements individually. If I wanted to move an element individually, I can do. But then when I put it back, it understands where it should be and moves within the whole scheme of things. Okay, so that's where we are so far. I want to show you another really cool feature now, and it's the duplication feature. Okay, so we have our text here, and I want to put some more text below here, just telling people to opt in. So what we do in Convertri is simply hit the Alt key and drag, and then we have another version of what we have there. And it's one of the things that used to drive me mad with other text editors, that you'd have to write your text and then change the font, change the size, change all the the underline of the bold or everything you had. When all I wanted to do was to get exactly what I had before, but just with different text. With Convertri, you just Alt, drag, and you've got exactly the same thing. And what we can do now is just say, not sing, you don't want to sing, you want to sign up below now. Something as simple as that. I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller, maybe take it down to 32, and we'll drop that in. Whoops, hit the wrong thing. There we go. And we'll drop that in right there. Okay, so what we need now is we need our opt-in boxes, right? Because there's not much point in having a squeeze page where nobody can enter anything. First thing, let me show you how you actually hook up your autoresponder. So we're talking, and it's will work with, I think, Andy will correct me if I'm wrong, but any autoresponder out there. I don't think they've found one yet it won't work with. You actually hook this up as a separate form. So you would go into your Aweber, your MailChimp, your GetResponse, your SendLane, ActiveCampaign, and you're going to create the form within that software system. And then you're going to grab the HTML markup code from that system and bring it into Convertri. And it's really, really simple to do. Convertri will build up a library of your forms so that you can use them in any funnel. So all we do is we go to this configure forms section, and as you can see, I've got a lot of forms in here, but I'm actually going to show you how to do that. We just add a new form, and I'm going to call this one Camping Test 5. And we need to paste our markup here. This is the HTML we'd get from our autoresponder. Now I actually have that within a file that I can just drag out here. Let me just grab it here. Just need to open up the file. I'm just going to copy it in a file that I grabbed earlier. I'm going to copy that and just paste it down here. Once it's done that, you just hit create, and you can see it's come in the bottom here, Camping Test 5, just building up my library of different forms available for use in any of the funnels. So all I have to do there is then say that, yes, I want to use this particular form in this particular page, and hit the use key. Okay, so now it's kind of sitting in the background waiting to be assigned. So what we do then is we hop along here to our form input menu, and we just say, okay, well, we need some input areas. So we're just going to drag them in. Now, don't worry that they both say email right now, because that's the kind of standard that it comes in with. But you can change these to mean anything. So if you, for example, you've got name, email, date of birth, favorite color, favorite Star Wars character in your autoresponder, you can get Convertri to collect all of that data and link in with all of those different form fields. It will work with absolutely anything. And all we have to do is just change the name that's assigned here. Let me show you this feature, though, because it's a nice one to show with. You can see these little purple lines come on screen. These are the snap to lines. Now, the snap to lines will work to either the exact edge, 10 pixels either side, or they'll work centrally as well if we wanted to put it central. But it's a really nice feature to make sure you have everything lined up nicely and looking correct. So I'm just going to do that to make everything line up. I'm going to make this box just a shade larger so that we have sign for our button at the bottom. Now we need to change the names inside the fields. So what we do is we just highlight the box we want. I'm going to change this one to name, because that's what I want. I'm going to make sure that I have all the fonts aligned, so we're using the same fonts throughout. And I'm just going to make that one ever so slightly smaller. I'm going to do the same here. Again, email is fine, because that's the field that I want. But I'm going to make the font align up and just make the text ever so slightly smaller. So now we have our two fields, but they're not assigned to anything yet. They're just sitting on the page waiting for us to assign them to that form that we said is sitting in the background. So what we do is we go into the form box and we just assign it here. That one is to form field 1. This one is to form field 3. Then we're done. Now it is linked to your autoresponder. And all we actually have to do now is provide a submit button to allow that to work. All you do is you drag in that button from the form menu, stretch it to where you want, submit is fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't need so I can make that just a shade smaller. Perfect. I'm going to change the font of the button to make it all line up with Kevin. And there we have a really nice autoresponder. But I don't like the color of the button. Okay, I want the color of the button to match this tab. And color matching often is a pain, unless you actually have the codes to do it. But what I'm going to do here is going to show you another great feature of Convertri. If I hit the little menu here and change the background color of this button, I'm going to try to match the tent. So I'm going to want to try to get an orangey color. And you can see with Convertri, you can see it change in real time. You don't have to submit it and then check the color, then go back and try to tweak it again. You can get the color you need exactly when you need it. And I think I should be around about there, pretty close to the color of the tent. Okay, guys, I'm going to save that. I'm going to publish that, and that's now live on the web. And that's pretty much the sign-up box done. And if we have a look at that and display it live,
what's up, guys? Get ready.
Get rid of that. Oh, I've got too much space at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this whole thing up like this and move up this bottom field. Oops, now I've done too much space the other way. Hang on. I'll get there. There we go, perfect. Okay, I'm just going to save that, publish it again. Let's just see how quick it is to get things live on the web. It's as fast as really you let your finger off the mouse, it is live on the web. So if we look at that, that's a lot.
Guys, get ready.
Let me shut this guy up. So now we've got a really kind of cool little squeeze page, which is in high definition, really rich and vibrant. Of course, we could have made that image bigger and dragged it down and filled the space. But, you know, I can actually build these in around about 6 or 7 minutes. When I'm not having to display every feature and I know what I'm looking for. So that's a really, really simple way to make a beautiful looking opt-in page in our funnel. So let me just close that. I'm going to show you some more features, things you can do with videos, and actually any elements that you drag in is you can add borders to them, which I think is a nice thing to do with the videos. I can just go across here, change it to say I want it to have, oops, that's the wrong one. That's the one I want, the border color. I'm going to change that border color to white. And I just increase the border width, and we see that come into the video. That's going to make the video pop a little bit more. So I can save that. Okay, finally in this section, let me just check all the things I've showed you. So I've got a whole list of wonderful things that I need to be able to show. Okay, just checking through my stuff. Okay, what I want to show you now, guys, is a feature I absolutely love. It is, if I tell you that this increased, when I did this in bespoke sites, this increased my conversion rate by 8%. 8%. Okay, it's the addition of actually tailoring your mobile site to suit mobile better. And what Convertri does is it automatically generates a mobile version for you. So let's just flick into the mobile view and see what we've got. Now, Convertri does its absolute best to give you a representation of how the mobile should look. But that isn't exactly as I want it to. Most sites, you wouldn't have, page builders, you wouldn't have any options on what to do next. You just have to accept it, that's the mobile view, or you would have to build a mobile dedicated site and get a custom coder in to do some magic behind the scenes. With Convertri, you don't have to do that, because Andy is such a smarty pants, he built into the system the ability to amend your mobile version. So, for example, in this, what I would like to do is I just don't want that hanging off the side of the page. I want to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to make the video a touch smaller so that it sits within the confines of the page there. I'm going to move this up a little bit, and then I'm going to just change the look of these entry fields, because in mobile people like a little bit deeper entry fields. I like to have a little bit of space either side of them. That's just my thing. It's not a particular conversion thing. But let me just build this exactly as I want it. Okay, so something like that. And then I'm going to do the same with the submit button. Kind of a little bit chunkier. And it's because, remember, people are using their fingers rather than a mouse. So chunky works better on mobile. Okay. So that's what we have there. And that's how the mobile view will look. If I just save that, And if we looked at this on a mobile, that's exactly how it would display, absolutely perfectly now. But this is the real magic. Okay, this, what I'm going to show you right now, I hope is going to blow your minds, because when I found it, it absolutely blew my mind. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the desktop view. If I grab the submit button here, and I hit my Alt key and duplicate it, like I showed you earlier. Okay, and now I change this slightly, and I call this, let me just, I don't need to get rid of submit completely, but let me just say tap to submit. Okay? Now we've got two buttons on our desktop. That makes no sense whatsoever. But what Convertri has done is this clever little toggle here. You can choose where elements display. So this tap to submit I have selected, I don't want to display on desktop, so I can just knock it off. But this submit button here, now, I'll just put that back, I don't want that to display on mobile, and I can knock that off. Like that. Now, when I go back and look at my mobile view, you can see that it's showing tap to submit rather than the just submit. So what we've done is, because we created these duplicate elements and hidden one on one view and showing it on another, it's given us the ability to create something that looks a lot more like an app and will function a lot more like an app than actually a responsive website. And when I did this in my business, this is what literally changed my conversion rates and increased them by 8%. 8%. It was a revelation that nobody else is really thinking about or doing. And I encourage you, if you're building sites, to make sure that so much traffic now is done through mobile that you need to think heavily about how your mobile site looks. And Convertri gives you that flexibility to be able to do that. And honestly, for me, this is one of the key features of Convertri. Okay, so that's pretty much our little squeeze page done there. So let me just save that. And I'm going to publish it again, just make sure everything's live. What I want to do now is I want to really quickly jump back to the funnel view so you can see what happens there. You can see when you've thrown a design in, it actually displays it on the page, which is really nice. It allows you to visually see exactly what you want. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a duplicate page. Sorry, no, not. I'm going to create the O201 page now, where we're going to be thanking people. Now, in this particular page, I'm going to be using a video background, because that's one of the features which is amazing with Convertri. So what we do is we go across this little video icon here. We're going to drag that in, and we're going to pull that down to full page width. And now I just need to grab some code of where that video is hosted. I actually host mine on Amazon S3. So let me just run and grab that code. I have it in a file here. Just going to grab that link. And all I need to do is paste that in here. Okay, now that is actually in there. Convertri isn't going to show you anything yet, because it would be really distracting to have a video playing in the background while you were trying to do other things. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building up on top of this video and show you the result at the end. So I'm going to drag in a panel. I'm going to go full, virtually full width this time. I'm going to change the color again, just like we did before. I'm going to make this panel more white though, slightly opaque. It's going to look gray here, but trust me, it will be opaque when the video plays. I'm going to change the corner radius, because I told you before I got this OCD that makes me do this. There we go, I got that. Okay, and now what I want to do is just add some text. So I'm just going to drag some text in here. And I'm going to say, thank you for requesting your free report. It is on its way to you. While you wait, check out today's specials. Okay, I want to change this to, I always like to keep in all my sites that I'm building, I like to keep the font the same throughout. No rhyme or reason really. I know for a fact that changing up fonts doesn't help things, but for me, as I said, I come from this design background that I like things to look the same throughout, to have congruency throughout. For me, that's a big thing. Okay, so there we go, yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're thanking them for the report. Let me just get this font exactly as I want. We're thanking them for the report, and we're going to try to upsell them with a little ecom offer that we're going to import onto this area. Nothing works better with ecom than scarcity. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add some scarcity. Now, if you have a particular timer that you want to actually use outside of Convertri, I know there's lots of different services that have some really funky timers and stuff. If you have one that you really love and you want to use that, then you can import the HTML directly into Convertri to do that. And to do that, all you would do is use this HTML element. And in fact, this can be used for virtually any element that you want to drag in, including Vimeo videos, forms, as I said, countdown timers, absolutely anything that's going to provide HTML code, you could drag in using this element. And all you would do is you would hit this edit HTML, excuse me, paste the code in here and hit save. Actually, for this particular demonstration, I'm just going to use the Convertri inbuilt countdown. So I'm going to pop that right here. And let's just, all we do then is we pick a date and time. Let's just pick tomorrow, keep the time the same. And we have options of what to do when it expires. Obviously, show the timer, hide the timer, or redirect to another page. We have a choice between using the simple timer, which we can actually change all the fonts and stuff on, and the colors and all that kind of good stuff that you would naturally expect, or we can go with a more graphical interface that Convertri provide you with. And we can resize that, obviously, to suit exactly our page design. So I'm just going to leave it at that for now. So now we need the actual offer bringing in. Now, fortunately, Convertri works perfectly with Shopify. All you do is you actually, in your membership area, your admin area in Convertri, you would actually just drag in your Shopify details in the same way that you would do with your Facebook details and your Google Analytics details. And then all we have to do is actually drag in the Shopify button, which is a really, really nice feature. You can just drag it in, sit it on the page there, and then all you do is you pop up here. You can change the elements. You can change the button background color, the button text color, and the product title color. All of those things are changeable within Convertri. But I don't want to change any of that. I just want to configure and drag in a product. So what it's going to do is going to load the products from my Shopify store. And I'm going to choose something nice and cheap, as I would do in this kind of offer. I'm looking for something sub $10 certainly. So something like this, multifunction keychain screwdriver. Okay, I'm just going to save that, and that will then drag in. In fact, that one is actually a little bit more expensive than I would want. I'm going to keep that one anyway. That's not a big deal. I'm just going to need to increase the size of my box a little, so I'm just going to drag that down here, pop that in there. But I could have chosen any of my little cheap offers. I was looking for one that was about $5, but this one is fine. It shows exactly what I was looking for. Once again, if we want to, we can create a little border on that. That's the border color. So if I want to make that pop out, I could make it like a red border. And I can increase the size of that if I really wanted to. Actually, I don't, and I'm just going to leave it sitting there like that. Okay, so that's pretty much that page dealt with. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to save that. I'm going to publish it, and this is obviously, I just need to choose the path. I'm going to say O_1 and publish. And now this page is live on the web, so I'm just going to view that. And there you can see we've got that really cool video background. It's telling them that we're upselling the Shopify item, and we're all done. That literally took seconds to, well, not quite seconds, minutes to produce. And that's how fast Convertri is to do this kind of thing. Okay, let's finish up this funnel really, really quick now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the share functions now within Convertri. Let me just check I've not missed anything. I'm going to show you the share functions within Convertri that are going to allow you to duplicate pages like super, super fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab this page, hit this 3 button, I'm going to ask it to share, and we get this code. So we just copy the code, and we go back, and all we do then is we go to another 3 menu, and we just ask it to import the entry. And all we have to do is paste that code there, click OK. And now it's just importing a new page from that code, and we have it right there. So all we have to do now is rename this page, because it's not 0201, it's 0202, and that would become confusing. Link it in. There it's linked in. Go to the page. And now what we have to do is really simply amend this text. So now we have thank you for your order. How about something like, don't forget the sleeping arrangements. And we can keep the countdown clock if we want to keep the scarcity. And all I have to do then is go into Shopify, icon again, and I just choose a different offer. Let's see, I think I've got a sleeping bag offer here somewhere. There we go, sleeping bag offer, and just click that. That's dragging in the sleeping bag offer, a little bit more expensive as you would expect on a secondary upsell. Save that, publish that, and I'm going to call that 0202, publish. And now that one is again live on the web. Finally, what we need now is we need a thank you page for the whole thing. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to go back here and I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. This time I'm going to use the opt-in and I'm going to grab the share. I'm going to copy that, go back to my funnel view and import that entry again by pasting that code in. Okay, there we go, and there is the opt-in. And again, I say we just need to rename that. So I'm just going to call that thanks. And then we just have to edit the page as we need it to be. So this time, all I'm going to do is just stretch that along there. Let's pretend we've got, okay, let's go with a many thanks for your business. Stretch it along. You know, our packing team is working on your order now. You know, and maybe you'd want to have your contact details and stuff, and maybe you would want to keep a video in here or something like that. We can get rid of this just by simply hitting the delete options. No, that would be full width, not delete. Delete and delete. Yeah, you know, it's something that's really nice on these kind of offers is a message from you, the business owner, saying thanking them for their order. That's always a nice touch. Maybe you want to put some Facebook share buttons down here, which can be done again just through the HTML element, dragging them in, and you just grab the HTML code from Facebook to do that. So that's pretty much that page done. And all we have to do is save that, publish it. And as I said, we'll just call this, call this one thanks, and publish. Okay, we're virtually done, guys. That's the funnel pretty much built. All we need to do is just visually drag that to there, so we have that to there. What I want to show you now is actually a really cool feature of Convertri, and that's the split test feature. So what we can do is we can split test this opt-in within Convertri. So all I have to do is hit the 3-button menu, hit Start a Split Test, and it automatically duplicates the page, giving me a variant B option. And quite simply, all we have to do is go into that variant B and maybe just amend the headline or something like that and say, our food report reveals, you know, you could do something like, in the United States. See if that works better. You know, maybe that would work a little better for you. You know, we can make that move up there because we're going to have to make this a little longer. We need to move these down slightly because the headline got bigger. There. Okay, and then we can just save that, publish it again. And what Convertri is going to do now is it's going to split every bit of traffic going to this URL to variant A and variant B, and it's going to give you analytics to show you which one is performing better. And then once you know, you can actually choose to keep which one, and then even split test it again after that. Because if you're not testing, you're not marketing, as they say. So it's very, very, very cool feature. And pretty much, I think that is the demonstration done. And very quickly, all I want to show you guys now is a direct comparison. Let me just bring up my presentation screen again and just share that screen. If you guys could just give me a 1, let me know you're still with me, and let me know that you can see my presentation screen again. That would be great. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate that. Really do appreciate it. So what I just really, really quickly wanted to do is give you a very quick comparison. So probably what is the biggest competitor in the marketplace for this, which is ClickFunnels. I wanted to give you a direct comparison. I'm in a good position to do this because I've been a ClickFunnels user really from right at the beginning before I moved to Convertri. Pretty simply, it's like this. ClickFunnels is $97 a year on the bottom plan. $97 a month, sorry, on the bottom plan, which is $1,164 a year. And to be fair, Convertri at the end of this launch period will be going to $67 a month because they have to. The level of service that they're providing and kind of all of the fast hosting and all of that stuff, it comes at a price. And literally, if they didn't charge a monthly fee, they'd very soon be running out of money. So this literally, this isn't false scarcity. This $297 lifetime can only be held for the next couple of days. So there is a massive difference there, as you can see. So just side by side, ClickFunnels are going to give you monthly fees. Right now, Convertri are going to have no monthly fees. The other thing on the 97 plan with ClickFunnels is that you're limited. You're going to be limited on the number of funnels you can produce, your number of pages you can produce. That's not the case with Convertri. Unlimited funnels, unlimited pages, no problems at all. Okay, ClickFunnels is a block-based builder. You drag in blocks and build it up like you're building a wall. So you don't have total freedom in design. Convertri is not. Convertri completely gives you freedom to do whatever you want because of this layering feature where you can put things exactly where you want them on the page. Okay, let me just go through these next sections all at once because they're kind of related. ClickFunnels is going to give you slower load page times, which leads to higher abandonment rates, which leads to lower conversions. On the flip side of that, Convertri is going to give you faster load page times, leading to higher stick rates, leading to higher conversions. That's just, the more people that see your offer, the higher your conversions are going to be. That's pretty simple stuff. So that's it, guys. That's what we're talking about. That's the offer that's on the table for the next day. And it's $297 for the, we don't say lifetime, it's a charter license, which gives you a one-time payment for the unlimited pages, unlimited funnels. That lifetime, I've got to change that on the slide because I shouldn't be saying that. And that's going to be no monthly fees, total freedom in design, the fastest load page times you've ever experienced, higher stick rates, giving you higher conversions, which ultimately means more money in your pocket. And I know that Tom has created quite literally the most incredible bonus package I've ever seen for this offer. So I don't know whether Tom wants to go through it or I want to go through it because he's given me a list here of this. Now, Andy's on the line as well to answer any questions that you have. We're going to go into the Q&A session right now. But just listen to this bonus pack that Tom's put together. Number one, you're going to get a done-for-you opt-in funnel, showing all the really cool features of Convertri, the kind of thing I just showed you. They're going to give you that, okay, using the share features that we've showed you before. They're going to hook you up with one of their own high-converting opt-in funnels that they created inside Convertri. All you have to do is add the traffic to instantly boost your lead generation. Okay, number two, they've got a high-converting, self-liquidating front-end offer. So all you have to do is get your traffic paid for with this self-liquidating offer, and you're instantly making your money back in revenue. Okay, number three is a done-for-you monetization sequence. You execute number one and number two, and you're ready for the bonus number three. Basically, you're talking about maximizing your ROI. This is the kind of thing that's going to recoup this investment in Convertri super, super fast, incredibly fast. You know, I can't say it's like getting it for free because nobody knows what kind of action you're going to be taking, but literally, it is like getting it for free. So that's what Tom's got to offer for you today. There's the link on screen now. I'm actually going to copy and paste this link into the. It's the most unfriendly link in the world, I'm aware of that. So let me just pop that into the chat box now. Oh, for some reason, it's not allowing me to do that. Let me just do this. Perhaps it will do it now. Oh, I know why not. I'm trying to hit it in the wrong place. Would help if I pasted it in the right place. There you go. That link is in there now. That will allow you to get all of those special bonuses at the same time. And I'll leave it on screen there as well. If Tom or Andy now want to take over, I suspect Andy's there ready and waiting to take any and all questions you have relating to anything to do with Convertri.
Great, thanks, John. I can't actually see your screen at the moment. I don't know if your screen's gone off, but
oh, you beg your pardon. Yeah, it jumped off for some reason. Let me just put that back on. You should be able to see it now.
Brilliant. So anyway, what I don't know if you guys have got questions, but personally, the more I see of Convertri, the more I like it. I feel like it's like the funnel, the kind of the Wishloop of funnel builders, because it's got the intuitive builder, full free-form drag and drop, and it's also got the bespoke mobile builder. But this is for long form pages, so to me it's like the perfect complement for Wishloop if you're looking to build completely bespoke funnels where you've got Wishloop for your lead gen, and then you can create full long form pages using Convertri. And I think the full width option for resizing your image is really nice attention to detail. So I'm learning more about this every time I see extra demos. I really like the share option as well. So you can easily share pages with clients. And we're actually going to be making use of this share function ourselves for delivering our bonus, which John just described to you. So it's basically a done-for-you funnel. So we're going to be using some of the Wishloop software, some of our previous software, and putting it into a done-for-you funnel so that you can just start selling it and keeping 100% of the profit. So we're going to create that for you and transfer that to your Convertri account, and that will be 100% profits. So once we set that up, we'll transfer that straight across to you guys. So make sure you check out the full details of our bonus, because we put that in an email for you. And I think this is closing on Saturday. Is that right, Andy?
Yes, that's right. We close at midnight PST on Saturday the 30th.
And it will start move. It will move to a recurring payment from then on. And we know as well as anyone, being SaaS owners ourselves, you have to move to recurring payment, as we've done with the Wishloop apps, because to support premium software, it costs money, and to if you want to look after your customers, you have to move to this recurring model. So I'm these guys will move to that recurring model because they want to take this forward as a proper SaaS. So make sure, if you're interested, do check it out before Saturday. So are there any questions, Sandy, that you want to take as well?
Yeah, awesome. First of all, before I answer any questions, for the last 20 minutes, my net connection has been dropping out several times. So apologies if I disappear suddenly. I don't know what's going wrong with it. Sorry about that. I'll try to get through the questions as quick as I can in case it happens again. First of all, there was a great question. I think it was Dan asked about whether Convertri is going to be supported. Obviously, it's a one-time fee. And there's the nerves around that of, is this typical internet marketing software? Are we just going to take your money and go away? And the answer is absolutely not. The reason we're running a one-time price on this is we're basically spending our marketing budget on it at this point. There's a lot of value to us in announcing ourselves to the market, getting a lot of attention, getting a whole bunch of people to pay real money and actually use the tool. But even if this launch goes phenomenally well, which it is, that will put us at break even. I've spent the last year of my life and about $100,000 developing this. It's been my obsession for 12 months. I absolutely love it. It's what I want to be working on. It's what the team wants to be working on. And this isn't the end for Convertri. This is actually the beginning for it. So you shouldn't have any worries about us not being around. We are transferring over to a monthly payment model after this. But for anyone who gets in now, you can get it one time, and you don't need to worry that we're going to disappear in 2 weeks.
Just jumping in here, guys. If anybody wants to see anything again, they didn't quite understand anything, or there's a particular element they wanted to see again, just let me know. I'm quite happy to just go back into Convertri and just show it off again.
Thanks, John. We've got several people have asked about upsells and OTOs. There's 2 upsells. The first one is a template club for $37 a month. You get 15 bonus templates straight away, and then at least 10 more every month. But the real value of buying into the template club beyond that is that the people that join at the start right now will be able to heavily influence which kind of templates we build. There's not going to be that many in the template club. So, I'm not saying for $37 a month we're going to custom build everything you want, but you'll be able to heavily influence. We've got to build templates anyway. We'd much rather be building what you guys actually want to use. So if you sign up, and let us know what you want in the template club, and we can hopefully build templates for you. The second upsell is training by one of the premier copywriters in the world. His name is Colin Theriot. He's the leader of it's called the Cult of Copy, but it's not actually a cult. It's a copywriting group on Facebook, boasting about 20,000 members. Colin's one of the best copywriters I've ever met. And I don't actually make much money for this training being in the funnel. I get a bit of money, don't get me wrong. I'm not doing it for free. But the reason I put it there is I'm a very technical person. And I know how to work with designers, and this tool makes it really easy to make pages. But what I really struggle with, my thing is knowing the right words to say when I'm trying to write something. And Colin has been phenomenally helpful to me. He makes complicated concepts really, really simple. He's done a little, if you check out the upsell page, he's done a little 7-minute video where he uses his formula to present the video and talks you through what he's doing. It's really cool to watch. He's done a better deal for people that buy into Convertri than actually for his own subscribers even. Previously, the only offer you could get on this training was $50 off from $250 if you joined his cult. But for us, he's done a special 2-for-1 deal across his 2 top trainings that will cover everything from video sales letters, normal sale letters, evergreen stuff. There's stuff in there that will help with your squeeze pages, like laying out your funnel in general. They're absolutely fantastic. And the deal on there is you get both of them normally $500 for $250. We've got a question here about importing funnels from other services. At the moment, that's not something we support, I'm afraid. You will need to rebuild things within Convertri. As you've seen today, it's incredibly fast to do, but we don't have anything automatic for that at the moment. Thanks, Carol. We've got questions about autoresponders and membership functions. That's definitely something we're going to be working on in the future. Basically, our development plan for Convertri includes quite a lot of really interesting stuff. We'd love to support sub-accounts, so giving permissions and access to other people, membership sites, an affiliate system, our own autoresponder, and pretty much our development policy is all of the stuff that's nice and quick to do, that comes with the charter membership. So there's all kinds of interesting feature suggestions that have come up just from running these webinars. So animations is one that we'd really like to have in. We're going to add a feature so you can capture lead data on an opt-in form straight into a Google document, into a Google spreadsheet, sorry. And stuff like that, editor fixes, upgrades, all of that stuff, that's just free. That's part of the membership. For the more complicated stuff, for which an autoresponder is likely to be one of them, there may be an additional charge when we add that. Obviously, you won't have to take it, but we may not be able to give you completely free.
Which is the thing with ClickFunnels, to be fair. They're, you can only get their autoresponder in the upgraded plan, which is $2.99, I think, a month.
Yeah, it's in. I think that's in their very expensive plan rather than just their expensive plan.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Colin. The template club, $37 a month. Hi, Romuald. Yes, you can absolutely sell pages to clients, run it as an agency. You can. Yeah, we're very happy for you to build things for other people, keep it hosted on our servers. That's not a problem at all. We encourage you to do it. It's one of the quickest ways to recoup your investment with Convertri. Hi, Carol. A quick question about how this works on tablets. At the moment, it's set to display the mobile-only mode because when we did our initial user research into how people wanted this to work, we asked people, what they would expect. Did they want to be able to do a third design for tablets? Did they want it to be mobile? Did they want it to be desktop, etc.? And everyone said to us, "Oh, we want it to look like mobile. We want it to look like mobile. We don't want to, we don't want to do a third design, and we want it to look like mobile." And now we've released it. The first thing, well, in fact, even in the beta period, people started saying, "Oh, I don't know about that. Don't know about that. We quite like it to show the desktop version." So the consensus is people don't want to do a third layout of the page, but some want to show the desktop version, some want to show the mobile version. So we're going to make that configurable so you can pick which it shows. Hey, Ron, thank you very much. I'm glad you're joining us. Thank you. Hi, Lawrence. You can absolutely use the HTML option for your own forms if that's what you'd like to do. Hi, Colin. Yes, it integrates with, I think RapidMailer is one of the ones we've tested. I couldn't swear to it, but we have tested dozens of autoresponders, self-hosted ones, cloud-based ones, loads of them, and we haven't found one that doesn't work yet. And if you are the unlucky guy that finds the one it doesn't work with, please drop an email to support@convertri.com because we'd love to know about it because we want to fix it. But seriously, we tested loads and it works with all of them. Hi, Roald's asking about Ryan Levesque's survey funnels. You can certainly build some of the survey funnels that he's doing, that he talks about. We don't have a couple of the form fields yet, so drop-downs being probably the primary one that's of interest. It's something we plan to support, but to be perfectly honest, until the Ask method launch, which was 2 weeks ago, this was not a thing that had been on my radar at all. So we're definitely working on it, and you can do some of it, but definitely probably not quite all of the stuff in the Ask method. Hi, Carol. Everything runs on our servers, so when we do updates, everyone gets them. There may be some very big pieces of functionality, for example, like if we add an autoresponder to the system that charter members won't necessarily get for free, but certainly all of the regular updates will just be added to your account. Oh, hi, Dan. Dan's asking how many templates you get without the OTO. There's 5 full funnel templates in there with multiple pages in each. So there's an info product one with opt-in, sales page, upsell, downsell, thank you page, and something else. There's one for selling software in there with similar pages. There's a webinar funnel with opt-in pages, presentation pages, replay page. There is free plus shipping one for people who are doing more like physical stuff with all the pages there, and another one which is escaping me. Just a straight lead gen one. That's right. And then we've got 10. Sorry, 20. It's at least 20. There might be a few more now. Single page templates with lots of variety in there that you can mix and match. Sorry, that was unclear, Walter. So currently, tablet will show up like mobile, and in the near future, you'll be able to pick which you want to show. Ramul's asking if you can buy it has to buy the Template Club now, or can he upgrade at any time? The Template Club offer is only valid until Saturday as well. After that, the price of everything will be much higher. That's all part of the launch offer. You're very welcome, Carol. Thank you for being here. Lawrence is asking if there's a funnel for real estate. There's personally, I would use there isn't a specific real estate one. I've actually been asked about real estate ones on another webinar. You could certainly use the lead gen funnel very easily, swap out the imagery and change the words a bit to get a lead gen funnel for real estate agents going. Add a small giveaway, something like, guide to local house prices or the 10 best houses on offer locally, and just update that every month, anything like that, and you could easily build a real estate lead funnel. Hi, Dan. I think the answer is no to signing up to multiple lists, but I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Can you clarify a bit for me? I'm happy to answer it. I'm just not quite sure. Hi, Reward. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, we've tested a load of webinar services, including GoToWebinar, Webinar Geo, and they've all worked without a hitch. I haven't tested Webinar Jam, but there's absolutely no reason it shouldn't work with Convertri. We integrate with most stuff. And if the same thing I said earlier about autoresponders, if you do find that the webinar software you're using doesn't work, please drop an email to support@convertri.com. Let us know so we can fix it. It's in our interest to be compatible with everything. We want lots of people using it, so let us know. Carol's asking, can templates from other builders be imported into Convertri? Not at the moment, I'm afraid. We've got, our builder works very differently to most of the other builders out there. And as such, importing is a very difficult job for us. It's something we're definitely working on, but not something we've got at the moment. Hi, Colin. The Template Club is $37 a month. Cool. How are we all doing, guys? Thanks for sticking with me. I think I've got to the bottom of the question list now, but I'm sure there's some more out there. Is there anyone here that's already bought through Tom and Stuart's link and is here for the kind of Q&A section? Is there anyone here that's wants to buy but still has questions?
Yeah, we're going to be sending out a replay, guys. So it looks like if there are any other questions, you can message us and we can get them to Andy and let you know. But remember, it's closing on Saturday, so just get them to us as soon as possible. Awesome. Okay, thanks very much, Andy and John, for your demo as well. Are you still there, John?
Yeah, I'm still here. No problem at all. You're very welcome.
So, any questions? Also, get them to our support@wishloop.com. We can help you out because we've also tested the software, so we might be able to answer your questions directly ourselves. Make sure you check out the offer on our link before it closes, and we've put an email together. We sent you an email today with all our bonuses. So let us know if you've got any questions on them as well, and we'll see you soon. Thanks very much, Andy, and I hope the rest of the launch goes well. I know you're really busy at the moment with this, and so thanks so much for taking the time out. And in fact, I think he's already gone up.
I'll see you later, Tom. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.